It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Rubbin Minds. Welcome. My name is Bukky, and thanks a lot for joining us on another beautiful show here today. Another eventful week in Nigeria. Lots going on, but we're going to be kicking off the show today talking about youth and the future that they hold in a country like this, whether it's empowerment and the challenges and hopefully solutions that should come with them. The Nigerian youth population basically runs the country as it is now. They constitute over 60% of the Nigerian population, and it continues to grow. So it's very important that we realize the potential that's there and harness it fully, which is why we're joined today by a very special guest from our Abuja studios, the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande. Thanks a lot for joining us today. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you very much. I'm good. Very good.
Very well, thank you. So just to kick things off, to give us a bit of an insight into what's been going on with your ministry, a lot of young people, rightfully or wrongfully, tend to feel detached from the Ministry of Youth because they feel like it's just this symbolic thing that's there and it doesn't necessarily look out for young people as much as they should. What's been going on in the past couple of years with your ministry, and what should Nigerians be excited about?
Thank you very much. I agree with you that, because I'm also coming from that demography, I agree with you totally that the young people feel disconnected from the government, and that is why the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria go into young people to own the ministry, to change the narrative of what it has been before. And I used to say it, I don't blame them, because for over 40 years, there has been a disconnection between the government and the young people. So now we are here, I am here, to make the ministry visible. And how can we make it visible? It is the vision we have for it. What's the vision? We want to operate an open ministry that is going to be for the youth. And I call it a slogan, it is time for youth for youth. And most of the things we are doing now, we are trying to put in place, is that let us look at it carefully. Do government have an empowerment? Do government have a support? Do government protect the young people? So that is why the vision tends towards supporting the young people, empowering the young people, and protecting the young people. And if there's anything this government is going to do today, or we are doing today, or with the template we are putting up today, is to protect it. And we look at it. Let me start from 2024. When you look at the budget, to talk about government first before partnership, when you look at the budget of 2024, we have over 800 plus youth initiative not stay in the ministry. The ones stay in the ministry is around 2.5% of over 100% of youth initiatives. But since it is one government, what we are saying is that we have a dashboard now. Before, it doesn't exist before. We have a dashboard, which is called Youth Activities Dashboard. We go there, we look at those initiatives, we look at those ones that are ongoing, we look at those ones in different ministry, science and tech, innovations, agric and all that, and we tap into it. We have a dashboard. We even have initiatives in different other MDAs and parastatals. We are not saying that bring it to Ministry of Youth, but we want to be part of it. We want to look into it so that, one, is going to empower the young people. It's going to support areas to support the young people, and in other way to protect the young people. And within a short period of time too, we've looked into the way that, okay, let's see, how can you empower the young people? The only point of empowerment that is real, if we really want to speak true to ourselves, it is giving the young people the skills. And for those that have the skills, upscaling their skills. And with this, we've come up with the forum of having the formal youth, explaining the formal youth and the informal youth. And we are saying that we have a youth, that there is a big concentration, there's a platform, which is the formal youth, which we have over 480,000 young core members in the National Youth Service Corps. And majorly, those are minority. We have a large numbers of young people that are informal youth, that are dead, that nobody are looking up to, nobody's talking to, they can't read, they can't write, they have a skills, some of them does not have a skills. How can we upskill their skills? What areas can we come into to see that, okay, this, after getting the skills, how can they get empowered? And the government initiative about the NYIF, youth investment fund that is up. And we said, see, a lot of people have said, when is it coming up? I personally believe in good process. I believe in good foundation, because a foundation that is not well laid, there is no how you will go there, then you're not going to fumble. And see, this is the first time we have a youth as a minister. So I must come up. I must set the precedent so that all other youths can be appointed into a particular position. So the foundation of the handship, the foundation of everything is being laid. And for years, I got into this October last year, and I can tell you that the dashboard is running now. The handship is in the process. By the time we did a revalidation, people will start getting the fund.
Okay, I'm very sorry to cut you in there.
Them so that it can.
Sorry to cut you in, Honorable Minister. I'm very glad that you said a few things there, because, I mean, you're capturing a lot of the things I'm thinking about. Yes, you are. It's the first time probably we're having a young person as Minister of Youth, so that's very, very important. But you touched on something that I actually want to expand on, you know. The informal sector, a lot of young people are there, and, you know, you have all these initiatives. I mean, we drive around the streets of Nigeria. It's every day. I'm sure it happens in Abuja as well, in Lagos, in the east, in the north, wherever it is across this country. You drive on a daily basis and you just see young people, young men just sitting, doing nothing, everywhere. Everywhere. And the constant talk is about the fact that this is a ticking time bomb if these people are not engaged, gainfully employed, whether it's with skills or whatever it is. So I like the fact that you're talking about these initiatives, but a lot of these people don't know that these things are happening. They don't even know how to find out that these things are happening. So I guess the thought is there has to be a deliberate attempt to get these people off the streets. How is that going to work?
Yeah, thank you very much. You will recall that there is a slogan of a campaign that I tell you the other time. I spoke about it, but I think in different occasions. And as I was Minister of State for Youth before. And when I was Minister of State for Youth, I asked myself, when I'm to talk to myself, that I'm a product of those people that we are talking about. Majority of people like me started from the street. We're outside there, we halt, we do a lot of things to make life easy for ourselves, the little way we can. So the major important thing that we are going forward to, because of the policy, because of the ministries, because of how the government works, that we are going to is serious engagement. And that is why collaboration, we are setting a space by in the next 2 months. And that is why I don't want to come here or come on any this thing without a figure or without saying that this is what we've done, this is what we are going to do. No. These are the things we are in now. So we are putting in collaboration, and it's because of the arm of the government. When you have a federal government, you have a state government, you have a local government. We are proposing to have a greenhouse where we are going to have an interactive sections within the artisans in each local government. We want to see how we can have a youth 2 skills, and we want to see how we can have a local government a product. And how can we get this? We need an aggressive engagement. We are going to that. We are going to kickstart some in Akwa Ibom, pick 2 in different states, like a startup, collaborate with all the commissioners. And there is no how you can get an engagement, even the road of Lagos, Abuja, or whatever, if there is no collaboration within the arms of the government. And that is why we are putting it through now. That, see, it is time to collaborate. Even the ministries in the state, any ministry of youth in the state must be active. It is Ministry of Youth Development or Ministry of Youth Development, Talent, and all that. And it's still based on youth. And even with the programs you do, I can tell you for free that the large numbers of Nigeria watch Big Brother Nigeria when it starts. And what they put into it, every household in the local area wants to watch it. So we are putting up to collaborate with a large numbers of you, probably in the media, enough media, in the local government, having youth greenhouse. Just come to the greenhouse, come and tell them what you want to do. We want to engage with you. And part of it is the forthcoming, that is coming very soon. By this week, there's going to be a message to Nigerian youth about it, is a confab that is going to come up. We are going down to the grassroots. It is not as business as issue. It's not about staying in Abuja and you want to know everything that happens. No. What happens in Kano is different from what happens to the young people in Ondo, where I come from. It's different from what happens to people in Bayelsa, in the south-south, and the southeast. We need to harness this thing, bring it together, look at for broad solution. And the major solution, that a major problem that we are facing is unemployment. So how can we tackle unemployment? Is when we have growth. How can the growth comes in? the capital and the human capital. Is the president dealing with the human capital? Fine. The capital, fine, yes. You can see that now we said no student should go out of school because he cannot pay school fees. If the state government is doing their own, the federal government is doing their own, there's internal collaboration, it is going to work well. They are going to get off street. Most of the people that are on the streets selling waters and all that is because they cannot pay school fees. But now we are saying, if you cannot pay school fees, go and get the student loan. And any government that is talking about getting student loan is telling you that even before you are done with the school, there is a preparation, there is a level of grant, that the capital building of a country, economic balance of a country to create an enable environment for the young people to thrive.
Okay.
So we are moving into greenhouse. Very soon it's going to be active, that we engage directly through the commissioners of the youth, SSA, to the governors, community development, others, donor agency, and everybody.
Okay.
We put ourselves and we go back to the grassroots.
All right.
I'm so much concerned about the grassroots, which are the informal youth.
I just want to pivot a bit.
When
Sorry to cut you because we're trying to just manage our time. Apologies there. I just want to pivot a bit now. And I know this might not necessarily be under your purview, but I mean, probably in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, we keep hearing all these figures, you know, about the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria. Sometimes we hear, I think from the UNICEF, they say 1 in 3 children is out of school. That's close to about 12 million or over that. If you include secondary school students, it goes about 20 million people, or 20 million young Nigerians who are out of school. If you look around the world, especially the countries we like to emulate, who have gone from underdeveloped to developed in a short period of time, they all focused on education, especially the Asian tigers we like to tout very often. We can't do this without educating our people, and there doesn't seem to be a conscious effort to do that. Now, it might be an education issue, but it is also young people who are affected, and it is the future of Nigeria. Is there anything the Ministry of Youth is doing in this direction to try and start reversing this trend? The numbers are, for want of a better word, ridiculous by global standards. The number of young Nigerians who have no education, none at all. Is the ministry doing anything about this?
Thank you very much. The first thing is this. Then you ask yourself, what attracts you to education? One of those things that attracts some of us to education, to school, I remember the first day I stepped my foot in Christ School, Ado Ekiti, I look at my left and I saw uniform organizations and all that. You know, you get involved in different activities. You look at it, are these things still there? Do we even recognize them? Are those things, are the curriculums, is the education attractive? That's the first thing. And you can see that one thing that the government is doing, and which this the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing, is collaborating with other agencies and parastatals. I can tell you for free that what is happening before in Ministry of Education is not happening now. And I am aware, because we're involved and we discuss every time, that we are going back to make even the primary school attractive for the young people, so that at least a young person will have the plight, we have in head that, see, I want to go to school. I want to be part of those people that are doing this. I saw some people in so things, learning this, learning that. The counselorship, because a lot of people don't know what counseling is all about, so that they can come closer. And Ministry of Youth is collaborating with.
Sorry to cut you, but when is this going to happen? Because we're hearing a lot of. You seem to know what the issues are. We're talking about, you know, what's going to be done. I mean, you're lining out a lot of the problems that we already know is there, and what was there before, and what should be fixed. A lot of shoulds is what I'm hearing from you. It doesn't seem to. I mean, whether I would like it or not, May 29th is a few weeks away, right? Sorry, let me just finish. May 29th is a few weeks away. 2 years of this presidency will be done. Election cycle, whether we like it or not, starts. And all of these things become very secondary. So it's very concerning that we don't seem to have anything concrete.
Education line does not need to deal with election cycle. And that's one of those problems that we are facing as a country. You must section educational thing, whatever you want to do in education, whatever you want to do about young people should be young people, not because of election line. Nobody's going to use that to come and campaign. And we've said, see, if we cannot put the education sector to the youth, which is the foundation of the young people, we can't get it right. And I'm saying that the Minister of Education is on with that, and that is what he's doing to put the educational straight, so that a lot of young people will have the upfront to go to school and said we want to go to school. And it depends on the geopolitical settings or geographics that we have. Is it in this place? Is it in this place? You must. And that is why I say that we are collaborating with Ministry of Education to make the educational attractive, to make the education of this thing attractive to them so that they can be free to go to school and said we want to go to school. That's really to make it attractive to them. Bring back all the lost glory and make sure that the curriculum is being shaped to benefit the young people, that the Gen Z or whatever we call it, that are informed now.
Can I hold you to a timeline?
The mindset of going to school.
I want to get a commitment from you. Do you have a target of what unemployment should be at the end of this 4 years? Do you have a target of what the number of out-of-school children should be at the end of this 4 years? You should have a number. You should have a target you're working towards.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I said, I want to get a commitment from you. As the minister, I'm sure you have a target for certain things, right? I mean, I would be surprised if you don't. What numbers do you want to see with regards to unemployment?
You can get
what numbers?
You can get a number from him.
I mean, you have to have a commitment. What's your target for out-of-school children by the end of this 4 years?
Target for out-of-school children for 4 years?
Do you have a number? Do you have a number for unemployment you want to reach?
Light on that.
What about employment numbers?
Employment numbers?
Yeah, with all of these drives, you're trying to encourage entrepreneurship.
In a wave, and I said, what we have in NIA, I call it an initiative that we're trying to put on, Nigerian Youth Academy. Our priority is to put skills to the young people. And we are saying in 2 years, we want to train, either train skilled or unskilled, or try as much as possible to upscale the skills of the young people. Like in 2 years' time, we want to see at least a youth in this country have 2 skills. And over 7 million youth can have the skills, because we have drawn the timeline. We are going to open it up both for the formal and for the informal. And we are going to collaborate with the state and the local government so that we can make it work. So it will be my joy to have a large numbers of young people having skills, fully empowered, and get fully empowered to make sure that in couples of months, they can also empower a lot of people.
Great stuff. I mean, you said you came into power. I mean, you came into the office, sorry, just in October. So you've just been in for a few months now. A year in October this year, what do you hope to have achieved? Because, like I said, the task is daunting, whether we like it or not.
To empower the youth,
you have a lot of work to do.
To support the youth, and to protect the young people.
Sorry, can you take that again?
To empower the young people, at large numbers that we can, to support the young people, and to protect the young people.
Are there some sectors you're particularly looking at? Because we look at what's happening in technology, in the IT space. I mean, young people are doing amazing things there, in entertainment as well. Are there specific sectors you're targeting? I mean, agriculture is also a big thing for this government.
Yeah, we look into 5 parts of it: youth in sports, youth in education, youth in agriculture, youth in tech, and youth in entertainment. So these 5, we are going to see what we can do to collaborate with other ministries, with what we have, to empower them. And we are going to look at our initiatives that we have also, that we are going to work with, like the NIA that I talked about, like internship, and with the NYSC to change the view of the thing, so that the 1 year is going to be a 1 year of training, going out of the scheme, and get something to do. So we have, even if it is the number that you have in the NYSC, that's over 480,000. So we are looking at how we are going to engage them and make sure that they are empowered in tech, in agriculture, and education, and entertainment.
All right. I guess we should just wrap on a final note now, because there's been a lot of, conversations around a lot of social vices that a lot of young people are falling into now, whether you talk about illicit drugs or things around that, you know. And I mean, you can blame it on the fact that people are idle and fall into these things. There's also an argument about legalizing some of these narcotics, because a lot of countries are doing that anyway, and there's even revenue to be made from there. Is this something the ministry is also looking at? Because a lot of young people need to be active, you know, to be empowered.
Yes, let me say this, that, you know, we concentrate on unemployment, and I can tell you that also it is when an enabling environment is being created, that is when you see a lot of young people that they are going to think straight and to engage them so that they won't also get themselves involved in drugs. So it cannot be government only. All the things will also come from the parents, from the schools and all that. So we are working to have an initiative that we called Your Act, that's the Youth Act, which we are going to sit down, also partner with different agencies, UN and others, to make sure that we go back to the root where the problem is. You cannot just pick it from the fact that, okay, because they are not engaged, fine. That is why they are not thinking well, or they are involved in drug, they are involved in this and that. No, fine. When we engage them, when they know the right thing to do, and we must start from the root. That is why I said with education too, we are going back to the schools. We are going back to everywhere, to go out with NAS, National Youth Council of Nigeria, and all other groups, youth groups, to have an aggressive campaign that if you use this, it's not going to help you. If you do this, it's not going to do this. So that we can have a youth that is thinking. The mental health is very important. It's very important to us. And until when you have a youth that thinks straight, that does not take drugs, abuse, or all that, and that is when you can have a country, because it's their country, and the government is their government. So we are making it open. We are looking into it to see that, okay, what can we also do to make sure that the thinking act, to re-engineer and to rescope the brain of how they think about things, how we make sure that they don't use drugs and all that. So it's an aggressive campaign. So from now to the next 1 year, it is engagement, engagement, engagement. When you engage them, when you are not far away from them, when you have an open policy, when you are with your people and you know that they know that you are for them, which we are doing now. We run an open door policy. We want everybody. Ministry of Youth is not a ministry that you need to get an appointment before you see anybody. We are opened and we want to engage them. Go back to the grassroots and let them know that these are the things you don't need to do. These are the things you need to do. So we're also, by next week, the Ministry of Health is going to be launching a youth platform, on a platform that is involving the youth on mental health challenges. Okay. And we are doing the campaigns. We are partnering with people to make sure that we get this done. All right. Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande. Looks like you have a lot of commitments, a lot of work to do. So hopefully we can get you back here in October, when you would have been in office for at least a year, to get feedback on how things are going. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Thank you very much. All right, welcome back. We're going to shift the conversation now and talk about women in leadership, in politics, in positions of power. If you are Nigerian, you definitely have seen the news of the past week with what's going on in the Senate with regards to Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and all of the drama that's unfolded with regards to her allegations against the Senate president. I'm joined here now by Precious Omorege, who's a lawyer. Thanks for being here today. Thank you for having me. So, you know, it's very hard to comment on this because there are so many sides to this, and we've just heard one side. We haven't heard from the Senate president. We also don't have any facts. But it was something, it was an allegation that was laid very strongly, you know, by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. And without going into the details of what she said, it just got me thinking about, you know, women in positions of power in Nigeria. First of all, in the Senate of 109 senators, we have just 4 women who are there. You know, and it makes you wonder, are we regressing, are we progressing? And then one of these 4, who is supposed to be sort of, you know, doing the business and showing, you know, that women can do this as well, is now mired in this controversy, which just makes everything, leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, you know. What are your thoughts on how things have played out so far, especially with other women in the Senate who have come out and said things, basically not necessarily supporting her, you know, saying, basically siding with the president of the Senate and all of that. It's been quite dramatic to watch.
Thank you for asking me. First off, happy International Women's Month. I mean, it's about, what, 7-8 days, but yes. I feel like this is a very clear example of how the normal woman is perceived or taken serious when sexual harassment claims are brought up. Now, it's an issue that, like you said, we have to hear all sides of the story, but somebody has laid an allegation and there should be an investigation launched into it instead of, coming up to say, yeah, he's not like that. I've seen the Senate Vice President has come out to defend her husband and actually sue for defamation, which I feel is a bit ridiculous because first we should hear this allegation. Let's see the evidence she has. Let it get to court, right? And then afterwards, if there's no strong basis and they cannot actually find anything towards it, then you can sue for defamation. It's almost like you're saying, my husband can't do that, shut up. But in her explanation, Senator Natasha literally said it was her husband, and the Senate President. So there's no way the wife would have known if that kind of thing had happened. Even if it happened, like, she won't be able to know. These are signs that we are not taken serious as women when we report about sexual offenses. It's a very serious issue. This is a clear example of how somebody in an office in Egbeda can come and say, go and meet the police and say, oh, I was assaulted by my boss, and they're like, what did you do? That's not true. You cannot. So if this is happening right in front of us at the highest level with lawmakers, what does that say about a regular woman working in 9 to 5?
I mean, a lot of people have brought up the counter-argument that there have been false accusations in the past, not necessarily in the Senate, just generally in life, So it's always hard to believe at the first instance. So I guess your take is investigate, even if you don't believe.
A lot of people lie that, oh, they were robbed, but that doesn't mean if I bring a robbery claim to the police station, they will not take me serious. You first investigate first, take out and look at the evidence they have, and that's when you know if you can go to court or not. So there's nothing like Senator Natasha should come and meet the Senate President before going to make such claims. It's her right. Her voice should be heard, and it should be tabled first before any other thing. That's my own take on it. So
like the Senator Ireti Kingibe did come out and do an interview not too long after, just a few hours, I believe, after the allegations were laid. And she also defended the Senate President pretty much and talked about how Senator Natasha hadn't reached out to them and all of that. And, oh, she's a younger senator, she's like a daughter to me and all of that. Do you think that was wrong for her to have done, what she did? Because, in her estimation, if something like this happened, we were there first. You should have come to us to tell us. Is that how it should have been handled? Do you think Senator Ireti Kingibe handled things wrongly?
I don't think so. It's a sexual assault or harassment, let's say sexual harassment claim. And I feel like the only reason why this lady would have said that is because in Nigeria, we don't take sexual assault or harassment seriously. Some people don't even know what they're doing as men to women is considered harassment. If you bring a bitter or, and you just speak to me in a manner I feel that is not welcome, especially when I didn't give you the authority to say certain things to me, especially in a working environment, or maybe you were colleagues and you make sexual advances, jokes, that is harassment. And in more civilized areas of the world, is taken very seriously. Even as little as a funny joke about your appearance, it's taken seriously. But we're so used to not taking, like I said, sexual harassment seriously in Nigeria. So some people just feel like this was, even if he said that he's always joking. How do you joke about something that serious? She's a married woman, and she has every right to report straight to the authorities or sue. She cannot come and meet you. You are not her mother, that's number one. Even if you feel like you are older than her, you are not her mom. If your daughter went through the same process, I feel like you would expect her to go and report to the authorities first before coming to meet you or talk to you, but not going to meet the accused person and have a conversation. So are you trying to say she's trying to ask for money or ask for something? It's a matter that should go to court and should be, like I said, tabled, and evidences should be brought on the table.
Let's be clear that these are all allegations.
Allegations, exactly.
So these are all alleged. We don't have any evidence of anything yet. Yeah. But she has laid her claim, and we're waiting to hear from the side of the Senate President. Or, like you said, if it goes to court, we see this play out in court. But it's just, like you said, it's International Women's Month, and this has sort of started the month off on a very dramatic note. Also coming off the heels of what's happened in the Lagos State's House of Assembly. Where Lagos State had its first female speaker. The last speaker was impeached in very dramatic form. He was out in the United States. Mojisola Miranda was made Speaker of Lagos State. She became Speaker. Former Speaker Obasa came back and then showed up a few days ago. We heard that the Honorable Miranda's security had been withdrawn. He drove in and he decided that he's still the speaker. You know, and the argument has been, if he was a man, would this have happened? I mean, I guess it would. We've seen things play out in several houses of assembly across Nigeria with this kind of drama. But do you think this does anything to take away from, you know, women who aspire to be in politics in this country? I
feel like you said, it does take away the hard work. Women were going through a lot. Let's even start there. So, you see, even this month, if they had the right, they would have taken this month from us and say, no, it's too long, you know. But I feel like what's happening in the Lagos State House of Assembly is rather embarrassing because everything, like you said, Obasa claims that allegedly, he was impeached improperly. And I actually took time to go back to the Constitution, Section 92, which states that there can actually be an impeachment of a Speaker of the House of Assembly with a majority ratio. And I actually checked how many people were there the day this happened, and there were about 30-something people out of 40 people. So it's more than the majority needed. And he understands that he's a lawmaker, right? They're supposed to set, again, these are people that are supposed to set examples for us Nigerians and us, the younger ones, so that we're able to understand and see that, you know what, this is how the law works. And we have to all follow through with what the law is saying. Now, you're now coming back and saying that the woman that was literally made speaker is no longer the speaker because you have come back. It's basically you trying to take it away from her. And that's, again, what they do to women. We work hard. They feel like, why do you just come and take this position, and they want to take it away from her. Right now, I feel like, again, due process must be followed because people are watching, Nigerians are watching. You are telling Nigerians, obey the law, follow the law, and then you are breaking the law as a lawmaker. It doesn't really make any sense. If he feels like he was impeached illegally or in a procedure that wasn't done right, then you seek redress. That is what we're taught as lawyers and as lawmakers. I'm sure that's what they're taught as well. So why would you now want to act in that manner just so you can embarrass the person on your seat?
It's interesting that both these things are playing out in legislative houses,
exactly.
Places where laws are made. And I mean, we'll see how things play out. But just on the final note, I don't know what the expectations should be. There's a Ministry of Women Affairs. I don't know if they have a role in this. What do you want to see happen, you know, with all of these issues? Like you said, it's Women's Month. You know, we need to hear more positive stories around, you know, women in power, because a lot of people aspire to be these things. But when they see things play out like this, I don't know what it does to the psyche of a young woman. What do you want to see happen?
Well, I'll say, first of all, first and most importantly, women need to be safe. We've seen countless women in the past few months lose their lives to people they love, they trust, and women that have been killed by random men they trust and men they don't trust for absolutely nothing. They've diced their bodies, and it's really scary. Women are not safe. I feel there has to be a strong intervention, not just from the Women Affairs, but from actually the government to make sure that women are safe. The violence against women is becoming alarming. It's going from different ages. Nobody's safe. The old, young, babies, everyone is receiving from one way or the other, and that is not good. Our voices also need to be heard. And you've mentioned two scenarios, Senator Natasha and also Honorable Mojisola. It's so obvious that our voices are not taken seriously. We're talking and people are saying why, they're questioning why we're speaking up, why things are happening to us, and it doesn't make any sense. Women are very strong and fearless people, and like you said, this is happening to women in power. Imagine regular women like myself, what is happening to us, what are we facing? And women that are in the spotlight in the legislative houses are going through this, and nobody is even speaking on their behalf. So what happened to women supporting women? I've not seen any woman come out to support, like, from their own legislative houses.
In fact, even, sorry to cut you, even on the flip side, I mean, like we said, we had a senator who even spoke out against the female senator. Yeah. We saw a protest, I think, yesterday break out in Akwa Ibom with women protesting against Senator Natasha. So what does that now say about, you know, it's not just men doing this?
Yes. They use the women as the tools. That's why I was asking. I said, okay, if there's an allegation against your partner and you see it, the only normal thing for you to do is to watch as it plays out. Why are you suing for defamation and human rights? You don't even know the evidence she has. It's only normal you listen and watch as everything. So how are you supporting your fellow woman? Because if, God forbid, our daughters come with that kind of statement, we're not going to sue immediately. What happened? Let's hear what happened. Okay, this is the way you go about it. This is not. And I don't think anything about harassment should be sat down and spoken about.
Yeah.
Justice has to be served. So,
thank you very much,
Precious
Morige. A lot of this is still unfolding. I guess we're going to be watching in the next couple of days how this plays out, and everybody should just be safe. But once again, happy International Women's Month.
Thank you.
Hopefully it goes better.
It will.
In the weeks that come for women. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're right on time because I have an icon of Nollywood here in the studio with me. She has done it all. She has seen it all. She has taken a break. And we're happy to see her again to find out, what she's going to be up to in the coming year. A lot of us grew up watching a lot of what she's done. I'm joined here by the amazing, phenomenal Bukky Wright.
Good afternoon.
Thanks so much. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I don't know. I haven't seen you in such a long time. What's been going on? What's been going on?
Well, have decided to diversify into something else a little bit, but I'm back.
You went to make money somewhere else?
Well, if you call it making money.
Did you fall out of love with acting? Is that what happened?
No, I did not fall out.
Or you had done everything and there was nothing else to prove?
I didn't fall out of love with acting, and hadn't done it all. There are still a lot of things that I'm still looking forward to doing, but I had to take a break for my children. My children called, and I had to take a break. There's a time in a woman's life and the children's life when they need you more than ever. And my children are abroad, so I had to leave everything to, go take care of my children. Because I would always tell anybody that you don't want to leave your children with anybody abroad, especially at a certain age. Mm-hmm. That's when they'll tell, you're not my mom, you can't talk to me like that. You are not my dad, no, you can't tell me that. So be there yourself, so that they'll tell you to your face, okay, try and tell me I'm not your mom, because my children know that they can't tell me I'm not. I know. They know they can't tell me.
What do you feel about the fact that women have to do this, where they halt their careers and, have to take time off for their children, and men don't? Whenever you hear stories like this, it's always the women who take a break to go, take time for the family. You hardly hear men do that. Do you think it's something that can be worked around?
Well, that is why we're mothers, and that's sometimes we even have to go for a mugo. Have you ever heard a man going for a mugo?
I don't mind, because the things that you can come back with from the mugo is plenty.
Okay, if it's because of what we come back with, have you thought of what we have to go through?
No. We don't want the work.
So, mothers would always be mothers, and well, I'm not faulting any man for being a father.
Yeah.
But in Yoruba land, we'll say, Iyani yami, babani baba bubuaye. That means my mother is my mother, but a father can be a father to many. So
the mother is very key.
Exactly.
So you were away in the United States, I believe, for a very long time. A lot happened in Nollywood while you were away, and you were watching things evolve. How did you feel? The industry grew astronomically. Streaming came in. So many new faces, storylines, and all of that. Are you proud of the industry you're coming back to? I don't know if you're coming back yet, but are you proud of the industry you see now compared to the one you sort of left behind?
I am going to tell you that I'm back.
Hey!
And am I proud of the industry that I am meeting? Yeah. Vice versa. Yeah. I am proud.
What are you not happy with? Let's start with that.
Professionalism. For me, I'm sorry. I don't really feel it like we used to.
With the acting?
At times, call time is 8 o'clock. You see people coming in at 12, 11, and you're wondering what's going on. Well, they're superstars. Maybe we are not.
So you are waiting for them?
Because that's the way I was trained. I remember when we used to have all training academies here and there. I'm not sure if we still have more of that. And during that time, you're trained on so many things. I can handle a production from beginning to the end. I know my continuity. I know what costume to wear on a set for a particular scene and what not to wear. I know what my makeup should look like for every scene I'm shooting. And I know when to get on set. But I don't know if, I've been on a couple of sets since I got back. And it's sad that, you have to be waiting when call time says this time, and you wait for like hours for the stars to come in.
But you are the star.
Well.
Is it a conversation you've had with any of them? Is it something, like you said, you met it that way now, and you know what it used to be like.
Yeah.
Is it a conversation you've had with any of these young people or these young actors? Because there's been a lot of accusations. People call them social media actors. Some people say they are more celebrities than actors. They're chasing fame instead of actually chasing the craft. Is that what you've gotten from them?
Well, I would say that we all start from somewhere. It now depends on how you develop yourself. Depends on the passion you have for what you're doing. I've seen a lot of them that actually started from the social media, but I see the zeal, I see the commitment to be better. And I still see some of them that feel, okay, they're up there. But I am not their mother, so neither am I their boss or something for me to say, no, that's not the way he's being done. But at the same time, I really appreciate those that are really, really aspiring to be better than what they are. And I appreciate the fact that they're making efforts. Because you see some of them talk to you, please, I would like to be in your movie. I would like to act with you. And some of them even call for, some of us to be on their skits and what have you. So I really appreciate the fact that they are willing to learn and, aspiring to be better than what they are.
Yeah. While you were away, did you keep up, with acting? Are there things you learned maybe in the United States? Did you do some projects that maybe was very quiet? Did you develop yourself personally? Are there things you're coming back with to change some of these things you're seeing in this industry now? Because globally, whether we like it or not, industry has evolved, right? Social media has changed the game.
Absolutely.
So it's not just a Nigerian situation, right?
Absolutely. And did I do some projects? Yes, I worked on a couple of projects abroad, working with the likes of Miguel Jr., working with Vivica Fox on site. And I also did some Nigerian movies, though the job I had in the US took a lot of my time. That sometimes when they call, I'm on a project somewhere, I'm on a client site somewhere, auditing or doing my cybersecurity thing. But I tried as much as I could to keep up and develop myself.
Yeah. I want to go a little personal now and just, there's this theory about actors, female actors or actresses, and how we sort of affect relationships, marriages and all of that. And I want to just get your take on that, because it's a belief that, once you go that route, the fame, sometimes the money, the attention affects the home, and that leads to a lot of these relationship situations that we see over time. What's your take on that, and how has it played out for you?
To be very honest, it affects homes, it affects your marriage, but at the same time, do you get the right men to come to you? Most of the time, it's a no. Because a lot of times the rights or the men that feel they're right for you don't come along because they're like, you know, I've heard it a couple of times where somebody would tell me, where do I start from? I'll be like, seriously? Start from wherever, start from the beginning. You're a man, I'm a woman. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, you get to find out that the men that have the guts to talk to you as an actress are probably, you know, I wouldn't say, I don't know if I should use the word cloud chaser, or somebody that just want to be with you because...
intentions are not
exactly. But you don't blame the women in the industry because these are the men that come up to them. And for somebody that has that kind of intention, what do you expect out of that marriage? And at the same time, even when the right men come along, a lot of them don't have what it takes to be with a self-made woman or let me say a popular actress, because you know sometimes they get jealous on what they are not supposed to be jealous of, forgetting that you met this woman doing this job
already.
You saw her on the screen as an actress, or you saw her as a self-made woman before you approached her. So what is it that you're jealous about? Is it the fame or what? Because I see a lot of things. I'm going to say this has happened to me.
Yeah.
You know, but I will just say it again that I feel Nigerian men are not ready for a self-made woman.
Try.
I'm sorry if it comes as an insult or what have you, but are you ready for a self-made woman? Are you ready for an independent woman? Because if you want an independent woman or if you want a strong woman, trust me, there are some things you can't get. But if you want a woman that would always succumb to you, then I would say go to your village and get somebody that is not aspiring to be anything in life. Because if a woman is aspiring to be something and you marry her and you are now trying to put her down, she will rebel.
Nigerian men. Over to you people. Just to wrap this up very quickly, but that's very, very well said. Just to wrap this up quickly, 2025, you're back. You've already done a few projects, and I think a lot of people are excited we can't wait to see some of these things. What should we look out for? What are some of the things that are coming to Nigerians in this year with Bukky Wright in it?
Right now, something about the bricks is in the cinema. We have Red Circle coming up, and Ashwebi Diary, and of course, just watch out for the return of Omotara Johnson. We've shot.
Oh, wow.
We're editing in UK now, and I tell you, is very big, if not the biggest.
All of these projects sound very big.
Yes.
I mean, I've been seeing this Red Circle everywhere.
But
something about the Briggs is also pretty good, yeah.
I will tell you that Omotara Johnson, the return of Omotara Johnson is big, very big. Even the director said it, that I've been directing jobs, but ma'am, I've not directed anything like this, and I'm super proud of myself.
Are you producing?
I am the executive producer of the production. I have somebody that produced, Taiwo Adebayo, and you know, I can't be everything, so
yeah.
I made sure that I see to how my money is being spent. And
when do you think that's going to be out? End of the year?
By summer, by God's
summer
grace.
This year.
Yes.
Great. Looking forward to it. Omotara Johnson was quite the iconic character, and we thank you to your children for letting you come back to us. I hope they are not too offended that you have left them again.
Absolutely. They are grown men, and I remember before I decided to come back, they're like, Mom, you have been living your life for us. It's time to do you.
That's awesome.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Awesome. And that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Something About the Briggs is still showing in cinemas. Go check it out. Red Circle is coming up. Return of Omotara Johnson. We're going to be here to make sure we enjoy it. And of course, it means the amazing Bukky Wright is back and Nollywood must hear. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
I wish you all the very best.
Thank you
in the
for
days
having
and
me.
weeks ahead. And like I always say, you can follow the conversation on social media. Please use the hashtag #RubbinMinds when you send us a message. I'll see you next Sunday.
Just wanna get with you. Don't just stand